Mom and Dad, I'm doing fine. You guys are on my mind. You asked me what I wanted to be, and now I think the answer is plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already won. Everything to prove, nothing in my way. I'll get there one day. Cause I wanna be famous. Na 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 na. I wanna be famous. I wanna be famous.
Welcome to the Animation Block. I'm your host, Knox Leadon, and man, this has been a redonkulous week. Animation cartoons are really heating up with lots and lots of great content. Let's get right into it with a new show topic that will be coming later this year into 2016. The Looney Tunes have always been some of my favorite cartoon characters, and it has been some time now since that we have actually seen a long-running show about them. Well, today I'm happy to say that has changed. A new series titled Wabbit is a Looney Tunes production is coming very soon, starting sometime in late 2015 into 2016, most likely 2016. This show is going to be similar and different to the previous Looney Tune content, going back to a more slapstick humor route featuring Bugs Bunny as the main character with a Wile E. Coyote and some Yosemite Sam. Appearances will be sure still be made by a lot of other original cast as well, but this is a very interesting and exciting. I will keep you guys updated.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It has been a really long time since we've seen a Looney Tunes long-running show. You know, there were a bunch of them back in the day. You had the baby Looney Tunes. I mean, you had a bunch of them, and there are a lot of people's favorite characters. You know, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry. I mean, those are some of the original classic shows. But lots and lots of people grew up with the Looney Tunes, and I think that really a younger generation of children now are not really aware of them too much. If you think about 3-4-year-olds, because there hasn't been a TV show about them in some time. Of course, most people know Bugs Bunny, but still, it's there hasn't been any new current shows about them. So, of course, it makes sense that they are coming out with a new one. Now, what's really interesting about this, and something that you already mentioned, was that the Looney Tunes show is not going to be how the newer ones have been. It's going to be more like the original. There's going to be four small episodes, four little short episodes within one overall episode. Like most cartoon shows only have 2 15-minute episodes. These are probably going to be about 4 6 to 7 minute episodes, and that's going to make up one full episode of the show. And it's going to be newer, it's going to be those stories, which, it's fun like that, because then you get 4 really, really interesting, different, themed stories per episode. So you could really be seeing, if there's only a new episode every week, you're actually getting 4 episodes a week. So it's pretty fun. I'm liking this idea, especially the fact that it's going to be mainly focused around Bugs Bunny. Now, Bugs Bunny is somewhat like a hub character for all the other ones, because he is somewhat really connected to pretty much every other Looney Tune character. He's got the characters that annoy the shit out of him. He's got the characters that he loves. He's got the characters who, he thinks are pretty. He's got the characters who, he needs to, work on things with him. And there's the characters that rely on him. So he's a bit of a hub character. So that's why you can really expect to see a lot of these, Daffy Duck, Tweety Bird, all those characters like that, just sneak in episodes here and there. I think it's really fun that they're actually going to bring something like this back. This is Warner Brothers. This is one of Warner Brothers' newest, biggest, most, they're putting a lot of effort into this show in particular. Shows some of the newer shows, I'm just going to put this out there right now. If you think about a show like I don't know, Amazing World of Gumball or Steven Universe. So those two, or Uncle Grandpa. So those three, those are Cartoon Network originals. Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network, like, kind of. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it doesn't, like, own Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network's, like, its own thing, but it's underneath that branch of Warner Brothers. So it's, like, similar as to how Disney owns Marvel, but Marvel is its own thing. So Cartoon Network is, like, a branch off. It's, like, Warner Brothers' cartoon department, but it's also its own company, but it's somewhat owned by Time Warner. It's not really owned by Warner Brothers, it's more owned by Time Warner. So you can kind of see how that all works out. So basically all the big Warner Brothers, and Time Warner and those shows, they all go to Cartoon Network because that's Cartoon Network is underneath that banner of Time Warner / Warner Brothers. So it's very cool because they put a lot of effort into these shows that have built up the Cartoon Network itself. Now, Looney Tunes, that's always been a big deal. Tom and Jerry, that's always been a big deal for them. Justice League, that's always been a big deal for them. Just certain shows like that they put a lot of effort into. Now, if you take a show like Amazing World of Gumball, or if you take a show like Uncle Grandpa, now that's a Cartoon Network original, which means that, of course, some executives at Time Warner had to have approved it, and the executives at Cartoon Network had to have approved it, but it's still not like Warner Brothers and Time Warner. They're like, we need to make an Uncle Grandpa TV show. Let's put all of our top efforts, our top talent from the original, because there never really was an original Uncle Grandpa. So my point is that because a show like Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry or Justice League of America, like I was talking about last week, they are going to get a lot of effort put into it from the big companies. So I think that's why this show is really going to be awesome. It said it should be kind of coming more towards the end of, 2015, but I've also heard that it might be coming in early 2016 as well, so it's an either or, really. It doesn't really matter. A lot of big shows are coming out in 2015. Also, a show like Powerpuff Girls, like I talked about, that was 2 weeks ago we did Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls, that is another show where Time Warner and Warner Brothers, they're going to maybe, get some of their lower executives in there and kind of, play around with that and get the top talent back in there because they need to do justice to the original. So that was sort of my point with that. But that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm not exactly sure if we'll be doing reviews, but we'll definitely be talking about the first episode when it comes out on the Animation Block. By the way, this is the 5th episode of the Animation Block, so thank you guys for watching and liking and commenting on the Animation Block. We were not sure if this would be a hit or not, and this is beyond a hit. Our second one just hit 1,000 views, or it's close to 1,000 views. All the other ones are getting really high up there, so thank you guys for that. That's a sign that Animation Block is coming back. I wanted to explain this in a video. I guess we can explain it in this one just because I'm already on the topic. But like many cartoon shows have seasons. So, right now the animation, TV schedule is much different from the live action TV schedule. So, because of that, animated TV shows, they, go throughout the full year, while live-action TV shows only go from about, September into October-ish to about, May. And then they stop. Animation is different. So, because of that, because animation is on such a different schedule, we are going to be doing seasons as well. But it's not going to be seasons of a TV show. It's kind of going to be if you've ever watched DC All Access. Now, DC All Access is that it's DC's talk show thing, and it's on YouTube almost every day, and they just took a 2-week hiatus, or a 3-week hiatus. We are going to kind of be doing that. You'll probably be seeing episodes all the way up till end of November. Then we'll probably take a 3 to 4 week break in the month of December, and then back on January, and back in probably late December, early January, you will start seeing what we will call as season 2. which is basically going to be the same thing as Season 1. We'll just have a new updated intro, and we'll be talking about some bigger topics for 2016, because we've been talking a lot about new shows that are coming out in 2015 and stuff, but there's a lot of big stuff, aside from the animated TV shows, that we will be talking about as well. So I kind of want to let you guys have something to look forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun, but right now, let's focus on the next 10 episodes. Right around episode 15 of the animation block, that will probably be around the last one. We might have 17 episodes in Season 1, we'll have to see. But it's every Saturday, so who knows. But yeah. Alright, so let's move on right now. So go ahead, Knox.
Moving on, let's talk about the brand new SpongeBob SquarePants special episode from Labor Day weekend, featuring everyone's favorite Patrick. This episode mainly focused around Patrick. He sees that everyone is eating an executive sandwich and he wants one bad, but he is not an executive. On an important note, this executive sandwich is the exact same thing as a Krabby Patty, just with a different name and has a higher price. This is classic clueless Patrick, and this is the reason why Patrick is one of my favorite SpongeBob characters. The way he acts is just priceless, plus he got thrown into jail at the end. Overall, a really fun and solid new episode of SpongeBob. Ryder, what do you think?
So when I saw this new episode of SpongeBob, I was actually really excited because really, the show basically for the most part ended back in 2011. But every now and then they do TV specials where it's a new an episode that they actually made or whatever, but they never ended up airing it. Or it's an episode where, it's a special one where it's an hour-long thing or a half-hour thing where it's got a theme, a Western, a Western theme or a space theme or a jungle theme, whatever, they do those TV movie things. But this was pretty interesting because it was an unaired episode. And then, there was a two-part to this, but the part we're going to be focusing on is the executive sandwich. Now, the executive sandwich episode was really fun. It's an episode that focused around Patrick, so that's why I really loved it. Patrick is probably my favorite character on SpongeBob. I like him, and I like Squidward, and I kind of like Mr. Krabs, and I like Plankton a lot. But really, my top three favorite characters are Patrick, Plankton, Squidward. Those are my top three favorites. And when we get an episode that's completely focused around Patrick, I get really excited because it's we're treated to something as amazing as that. Because his character is probably the funniest one there. Him and Plankton are probably two of the funniest characters. Along with Squidward, but really I feel like him and, Plankton are the funniest. So, of course, he wants an executive sandwich. That can't happen because he's not an executive, but Squidward sells him a Krusty Krab necktie and a Krusty Krab pair of glasses, and then he's an executive. But, of course, before he can get a sandwich, he's carried away to a business meeting because now he's technically an executive. So this was a funny episode. It really showed how smart and dumb Patrick really is. And, of course, it's funny because we know this guy's an idiot. But he's now considered an executive businessman. So, of course, what does all that equal up at the end of the episode? Well, Patrick goes to jail. That's pretty fun as well. Except then he takes off his executive or he puts on his executive glasses, or he takes off his executive glasses or something like that, and then he's not Patrick Star anymore. He's some other random person. SpongeBob is visiting him. He puts on the glasses or whatever, and SpongeBob just doesn't recognize him, and that's how the episode ends. And he's able to just walk out of jail because nobody can find Patrick Star. But it was a funny episode, really enjoyable. They always are. So I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, some more new episodes coming soon, if that's possible. If not, then it's fine. We'll see another one probably towards the end of this year. There's always the specials, like I said. So, yeah.
Finally, this week was the official premiere of Total Drama, The Redonkulous Race. After waiting for a long time, we finally got the first 6 episodes of this amazing show. You get a taste of the original mixed in with lots and lots of great new themes, content, characters, story plots, love stories, and of course, a redonkulous race. I really like Don because he is more grounded and Chris is just a little off the deep end. I really like the different location, and it reminds me a lot of Total Drama World Tour. This is definitely one of my favorite seasons. Writers going into a bit more details with all of this in the Redonkulous Race review later. Take it away.
Oh yeah, so finally, after a long time, we got the Redonkulous Race. It finally came out. It's so great. I actually already previously recorded my Redonkulous Race episodes 1 through 6 review, which I will be posting like really soon after this episode of the animation block has been posted. So you can, yeah, just look for that. It'll be coming extremely soon. We did some fun stuff in the intro. I had a blast doing that and making that, putting that together. Actually, last week, that was what Knox was editing. He was helping us edit that stuff. It was filmed like a week ago. So, yeah, but he was editing that last week, so that's why he wasn't here last week. But, yeah, so the Redonkulous Race. Great show. It really does kind of feel like a fresh take on the original, like what Knox was saying, you know. I get really deep into it with my other reviews, so you check that out, because I kind of get into the teams, but really the teams are just what makes it so interesting, you know. We've never really had teams, you know. We've had, like, 2 or 3 big teams of, people, the contestants, but we've never had, 2 people on one team, we've never had 18 teams of 2. So that's what I'm trying to say. So that's why it's fun, and each team has its own theme to it. Like, you've got the ice skaters, the dancers, you've got, Devin and Carrie. They're, like, best friends, so they're wearing, like, fun things that your best friends out there, funny shirts like that. You've got the Adversity Brothers, the 2 of them, they're just like, they're dressed like in headgears and stuff like that because they are always used to fighting and getting through adversity, which is always, they're really funny. Then you've got the cops, they're wearing their like police gear and they're funny. I like them as well. You had the LARPers, which they actually, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they don't make it very far within the first 6 episodes. Not far at all. The LARPers, they're wearing their wizard gear and their Viking gear and, whatever. You've got, like, the eco-friendly girls who are the vegans, really. They're wearing reggae hats and, like, peace signs and stuff like that. Then you've got, like, the smart, like, brainiac people who are just focused in math and studies and all that stuff and science, and they're wearing glasses. I mean, it really sets a mood and a tone that's really exciting overall. I don't know. I think that this is just a hit show. This is definitely makes my top 5, favorite overall, seasons of Total Drama. Pakatu Island kind of didn't do everything I wanted it to do for me. They tried to replace the original island. I don't think that worked. And then they tried to bring on a fresh cast. But the thing is, there's only so many different characters and ways you can do characters. I think that's what's really nice about the Redonkulous Race is that because it's like a different kind of show, you don't have to reinvent characters, Pakatu Island tried to make, like, that guy with the purple hair, like, the evil genius, like, and the Snow White themed character. I feel like that didn't really need to happen. I don't think they really needed to reinvent the wheel. They just needed to put a fresh spin on it. And I think that's exactly what the Redonkulous Race was doing. There's a lesson in business right there. If you are somebody who's trying to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you gotta do is put a fresh spin on it. And I think that's exactly what the Redonkulous Race has done. So that's why I think this is a hit. Because it's not, it's never going to be total drama, but I think that it's almost just as good or better. It's not, I don't know if it's better, I don't know. I think it's equal. It's just as good. I don't think any of them are better than one another except Pakatu Island. Pakatu Island was my least favorite. It still wasn't terrible. Wasn't my favorite, didn't care for that too much, and that was last year's TV show, and I think really they just felt like Chris was maybe they needed to phase Chris out. And I mean that Chris is never going to officially be gone because Chris is basically what made the show a hit. And, of course, it doesn't have that exact same feel that Total Drama did. Total Drama had that really nice, fun, kind of homey feel at the very end of each episode where Chris would, tell somebody at the campfire or at the award ceremony or, something like that. Or, he just, he would tell them, you're eliminated, he'd give them a marshmallow, and really, it's fun. that is not something that happens at the end of the Redonkulous Race episode. But it's different. It's supposed to be a spoof of The Amazing Race. So that's why it's like that. But honestly, it's really fun. It's really awesome, and I can't wait. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Knox, take it away.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to click, share, like, and subscribe. And I'm Knox from the Animation Block. And stay redonkulous.